Alright, here we go. We're on StarCraft 2 DC Collectibles Tychus Findlay. He is an amazing figure. Let's just start out with that. He is just, he's like a work of art. And it's really sad that something like this can come out with this amount of detail and articulation and just overall amazing figure for the price it did, and then just kind of disappear into I don't know, the market, because his price just skyrocketed after that. I guess they weren't going to make it too huge of a run. I don't blame them, but also I hope that maybe some year that maybe they'll make more of them, of course. So with that said, let's take some more look at him. He is super detailed, of course, everywhere, but I really like the gears and stuff. His feet are not bad. They're pretty good. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. First things first, some collectors that I know have mentioned this, and either they don't like it or they're like, oh, it doesn't really matter. I'm more of the doesn't really matter type, because that's not really an issue, because what it allows you to do is to move the legs around freely and get some really interesting posing out of them, and you're not really concerned about the legs falling, because this isn't some cheap mass market figure you're going to go and buy from Toys R Us or something like that. It's a heavy duty, really well thought out figure that has a sizable weight distribution, so that when you set him down, I didn't do anything just then. I just set him down. Didn't mess with him at all. I just put him right down just then, and he stands beautifully. I mean, look at that. Boom. Down again. So he has a great system of balance. He has, of course, this peg that allows him to swivel around here, but also is, of course, going to allow him to go up high. Hopefully I'm not scaring any of this. He is quite the large figure, as you can see. I'm not sure if the scale is right, but for some reason, for me, just in case you've never seen this figure, I wanted to get these guys in here quick, because I think it really gives a helping hand to realize how big he is. This is a Master Universe Spector. Of course, I have changed him up a little bit. But he, you can see how much bigger than a Master Universe, and they're like 7, some people want to say 8-inch scale. I say more 7. We have Sportsmaster. It's a little dusty with his amazing ball-jointed head. Sorry, getting off track, but he's another 6-inch figure. Don't mind the shield, he's just placeholdering. But as you can see, even, I mean, his head is right in here, and his head is literally the same size as one of these 6-inch figures. And if I were to take Sportsmaster here and put him inside this body, I could see his legs easily fitting inside of this suit, and his arms. So if you ask me, he's a 6-inch scale suit of armor with a 6-inch, you know, supposed 6-inch body inside of there. I mean, it's uncanny how close it really is, because, I mean, there's a Batman here, and this is all Young Justice, but this is just a DC Universe Batman, basically. And, I mean, you can see he scales quite nice. This guy, this Tychus Findlay character is supposed to be, I mean, all you have to do is Google it. You'll see some videos from the game that are basically CG trailers of him getting put in the suit. It's just a guy just in a suit, and he's encased in it. He's not coming out. He's like a prisoner inside of it. And really, I mean, it looks perfect. It looks perfect. I say he's a 6-inch scale figure. The head is another source of some people's concern. Now what we're going to do here, because I really want some people to see this. You hear all that? That's the tightness of his joints. Let's get him in here sitting, because yes, he can sit. And let's help you out here. There we go. Let's get a little clear. A little clear. His head, right in here, is movable. I can do it with my thumb. Some people not so much. And work with me, camera. Yes. See his head? It's a really neat touch. I don't even know if they had to do it. I think they probably had to because, I mean, everything else they were so amazing on. This is it's fighting with me again. Let's get him back here. And bear with me for just a second. Alright. I didn't want to make all that noise for you guys, but here's his head. And you can see it when I get my finger in here. I just kind of push against his forehead, and boom, he's looking this way now. Straight ahead. Push him this way, boom, he's moving that way. It's basically a swivel. I've gone in there many times with a flashlight. I mean, you might be able to see something here, but I doubt it. It is a hard angle, I'll admit, and anybody else with bigger fingers than mine, see my fingers? Might have trouble getting in there and doing something with that head, but for me, not an issue. I can get probably even my pinky in there and have an even easier time of moving around. So if I really want to pose them, not a problem. But, as we all know, or some people know, the visor goes down. And what's really neat about this is that you can actually turn this helmet up here. Now this is where I have a problem with the actual design of it. Whatever they decided to do here doesn't work nearly as well as the head inside somehow, because this actually does turn. It's just, it's one of those things that just really, it doesn't want to go anywhere for me. I've had it turn before in the past. Now, I'm not trying to give you some dead screen here, but here, stare at him for a bit. It just doesn't want to, it really doesn't want to move very much. And what's crazy is I've actually had it move, when I first had him out of package, I actually had to move a pretty good, decent amount. And you can even feel the thing moving around. It doesn't feel flimsy, the visor, the helmet. It doesn't feel flimsy. It's definitely on there. I mean, you can see it right here. Let's see if I can get it in shot. See it moving there. It's just one of those things that maybe it's rubbing, or maybe it's just really tight in there, because I've had it turned a couple times where the whole visor was basically kind of looked like it was looking this way. But I don't know. It's a nitpick that I don't think needs to be focused on too much. But it is neat, because if you get them, I would say try to move it, but just, you know, of course, be careful. Be careful. I don't have a problem with them, because I can just make them turn and look like that inside, or we can put the visor down and we can do this, because yes, he does have torso rotation, and it's very tight. Now, as you can see, there's lots of detail in here. I mean, the detail is outstanding on this figure. He's got hoses and pipes and stuff all inside of here. If he focuses, you'll be able to see it, and you can now. Just impressive amount. I mean, you can see parts where it looks like it's been, you know, screwed in up in here. Panels. The engine parts here, or I guess the boosters. Let's back them up a bit. Yeah, see the boosters? It's deep. Like, it's so deep that I can take my little tool here and I can go in, way in there. And we like deep. So, yeah, even the arms, of course, you're going to have more detail. But what's really interesting is that it's not just Uh, you can even see here, there's a, yeah, the shoulders do move. There's a little handle. Not sure what that was for originally. So let's get back into, since it's really hard to go over detail too much, because I mean a lot of it you probably can see, I mean just by looking at it, if I keep it static for once. Well, let's just go over the articulation, get that out of the way. You've already seen the head and all that kind of stuff. Of course you got the arms moving, and yes, you're gonna hear a lot of that. You've already probably heard some of it. It's called tight joints, and for once, I don't really mind it because I'm not scared about moving it. I just know it's tight, and I know some people have had some problems with DC Collectibles and some of their newer figures that have been made. I'm not going to name which ones because I don't even remember anymore, and I haven't had a problem. I have Killer Croc, and he from the Batman Arkham Asylum video game. He seems to be durable, if you ask me, but this seems to be fine too. And as you can see, a decent range of movement even with the shoulder pads, because if you go like I just did right then and go like this, I mean he's pretty much out there with his arm. And of course you have a hinge joint here, and it's a swivel joint, so he'll swivel like this. And then, yeah, I mean, you've got movement here, and it's pretty decent. Of course, I just said the cuff moves around, so you can move that all the way around if you want. A lot of fuzzies. And the arm, of course, this one's basically the same. He's got a, trigger finger for this. Now, it's still, to me, it doesn't fit very well, so I've gone with the old rubber bandy thing that almost so many figures come with these days. I have like a small hoard of them. So, I mean, it's not too bad over here. You really can't see it, so that's why it's on there. And the gun isn't bad. It's hollow plastic. But it works well, so it doesn't, weigh him down, or you're not having any problems with him posing. In the interest of time, I'm not going to go ahead and pose him into the holding, because he can definitely do it. Of course, underslung. It's not impossible to do, but let's just get over the articulation real quick. You guys, it's just one of those things. You have to see it to really appreciate it. I mean, you just saw him get his legs out, and of course he has a decent knee joint for something that looks very bulky. And of course you can see even more of the detail. A lot of battle damage on this figure, well, scrapes and stuff like that, but it's not, like, sculpting-wise, it's not too many dits and dings, so it's mostly just paint. I kind of like that. I don't want too many, like, scratched up portions. I think the paint looks fine. It's well executed, so not a problem for me overall. And then we've got, of course, toe articulation, which actually has a very good movement out of it, the actual joint. And it helps too, because it'll really help them stand in different poses. And we'll see if we can get him to use that joint real quick. Like I said, he does have a good weight distribution to him. And as you can see, bam, I didn't do anything just then. I just moved his feet and put him into a pose. Now look, now he wants to be in an A-holder. Oh, see. Now he wants to work up. Look at that. Whoa, action shot. So, yeah. Continuing with the feet. They do move, of course. This is probably more of the limited range, because it's more like that. And that's about it. You can see more great detail. So yeah, he's just really quite amazing from DC Collectibles. It's like they just put everything they could into this figure just to get him, I guess, maybe the way they wanted. He's he's amazing. And from what I remember, he took a long time to make, a couple years or something like that. Like they're showing prototypes off, and I remember the first wave, and it was nowhere near as this impressive. I mean, they're basically statues. All the other are figures. I don't know how he came to be this amazing work of art that he became, where he's great looking statically, but then you start posing him and it's like, wow, there's a lot we can do here. I could probably do a lot longer video on him, just in terms of posing him with other characters, but I already try to give you, size comparisons, all that. But he is probably one of the most impressive things I bought, or not bought, but traded for in the last year or so. So I would say, if you really like him, go out there and get him, because the longer you wait, the more it's going to be hard to get him. I know it for a fact. He just keeps going up and up and up. I don't think they're making these anymore from what I know of. DC Collectibles is always moving on to something new, it seems, when it comes to properties. And I guess as a collectible company, you have to keep moving on. Just really probably, yeah, and you might have even seen him on some top lists of 2012. I'm sure of it, because I know I've seen a couple in some reviews. But just, there's not enough you can say to really hit home how great he is. It's just like, wow, I want to see more of this. Alright, that's the review. Thank you for coming and seeing, and I'll see you guys next time.